This video has been uploaded by Truth Seeker on YouTube.
Most important, as we proceed now with answering questions and getting a dialogue with you, is we would like to address the issue that was brought up by the gentleman. What is his name? Was it Carl on to this side here? The prophecy question? Joseph, all right. It is important to understand that prophecies are not inevitable just because they have been laid out by Anunnakis and others who want to seed your reality does not mean that they are inevitable, that that is the path and the only way. You are free to choose what you want to experience, but you must make that choice. If you become oblivious, or if you kowtow to the inevitability of the Lord's word and the prophet's word, then of course you are subjected to, you become a member of that particular clan of consciousness. But we are addressing the free thinkers. And your job for the next number of years, you will find as you become more aware, is not just to manage you and who you are. You're going to hear things about what's happening in the world, about more war and proclamations. And people for the last few months have been saying, is this World War III? Have we started? It started. No, it hasn't. There's a fever out there, a war fever, that wants to fulfill itself, yet does not have to. This is the point we want to make. Prophecies are like saying, hey, there's junk in the road up ahead, steer around it if you don't want to hit it. You understand this? Part of your job will be to cancel storms, to de-energize weather changes and earth changes. When you hear there's tornadoes in another part of the U.S., you may have to take a minute to send energy, speak to the tornadoes, calm them down, lift them up. You are going to be doing more work in managing reality, Saturn, and creating by intention, but without manipulating others to get what you want. This is the power of the mind. And you cannot use the mind to combat. You can use the mind to calm. And some of the weather elements are very upset. They are conscious beings as well, because they are being manipulated. You were talking about Joseph in our vehicle sharing the same birthday with Nikola Tesla. Mr. Tesla, of course, was a small giant. He stood at 6'6", Serb, and then he would wear 12-inch high shoes to prevent him from getting electrocuted. And he always said that ETs gave him his info. People thought that was so outrageous. Well, now you know that the ETs, lots of them with different intentions and different kinds, can deliver all kinds of information, especially if they want electrical advancements, or if they want to shift the belief system, such as creating Marian apparitions. Now, our vehicle mentioned this, that there were some 20 or so Marian apparitions that were legitimate sightings from Medjugorje in Yugoslavia, which has now been torn apart, to Long Island, to Guadeloupe, a few places in France, etc. And of course, the reports were all paralleling certain messages and certain things that were happening. And at first it was said only the children could see this. And then there was weather changes, and the sun would move in the sky. And of course everyone fell to the knees. And Mary's main message, which was interesting, in the early years, was pray. Pray for peace. Prayer is the same word for intention. The Anunnaki say, pray to us. But this Mary, Ninmah perhaps, said pray. Pray for peace. It's the power of I'm going to have a zippity-doo-dah-day. There's no difference. And so we would say that these apparitions were sent at times to primitivos. We are not insulting you, but there's people who know very little. And they see something in the sky and they have to get down and worship it. This has been going on for hundreds of thousands of years. Ideally, if something manifests from the sky in front of any of you, you're not going to drop to your knees. Think about that. Nonetheless, in the later years, the apparition, the Long Island Bayside Mary, would come in and say, there's evil in the church. Leave the church. What kind of Mary is that? But you see, if you understand that this apparition, it is not really Mary, it is technology. It is technology, Anunnaki technology. Holograms that sometimes had holes in them or they weren't quite all there. And the holograms were sent to stabilize people, control them. And you understand that if there are two warring sides to the Anunnakis, the warring families, they can both use the same technology to confuse and trick people. I'll get Mary to support my side. No, I'll get the Mary apparition to support my side. And the humans are totally confused. And then they end up worshipping a Coke can. You've heard that story, yes? A Coke bottle. They end up worshipping something and become in awe of something. This is just technologies. This is what you're up against, only it's going to be way bigger than Marian apparitions. It's going to be some big stuff, because there are those who want to fulfill some of these prophecies. And they will do what they can to confuse you and to keep you from figuring things out. Very important to remember that.
This video has been uploaded by Truth Seeker on YouTube.